When people think of Florida, they most commonly associate the palm trees like these two behind me here. Friends, we welcome you today to a backyard setting, fairly common for this area. What can we do to make it uncommon? We need some low maintenance attributes here, and also our goal would be to provide a tropical look for this designer's landscape. Our goal again is going to be to accomplish several different options. That is lower maintenance for the homeowner. When we talk about maintenance, we think about turf grass. I just came from behind there. There is a void of grass not doing so well behind that leyland cypress. And so we want to think about making a bed, taking these rectangles and softening them with some curves. As you look up top or from a top view, you'll be able to see the basic shape that we have here. Our goal then again is to improve that look. The palm trees. Let's go ahead and add a cluster or grouping of some here as a major focal point. See, you're at the patio, primary view and sitting area where the homeowners enjoy quite often. So this is going to be one of those major concerns here. Down the side of the house here, we have a tight little area that's mowed with grass. We're going to eliminate that altogether, convert it to mulch and lower maintenance. I am curious to see how much time we can save the homeowners from mowing by having some lower maintenance ideas for them. I'd love to know, so we might kind of work on that. You see behind the corner here, behind the palms, again, an area that has turf grass that probably should be eliminated. And again, the rectangles, I think the curves are going to help soften that stiff area that we have here. Just a fenced-in backyard. Also, the AC and air conditioner, it needs some softening as well. So I'll grab my paint marker. We'll draw some ideas right here on the grass so that we can fine-tune those before we clean out the unwanted turf and develop new beds. This turf marking paint is really fun stuff, and it's going to help us because as a designer, homeowner, or even contractor, you can use this to visualize ideas before you put a plan to work. Here, this little existing bed that's separated from the fence, let's make it part of the fence by somewhat attaching it. And all this will be a bed area now. From here, I want to curve around and touch this palm tree just slightly and pick up the air conditioner and then head back out here. What we'll do is send this all the way around to the patio. For now though, I want to double this line, making it heavy enough for you to see it. All right, we're going to kind of use this as a big area for a focal point, a tree. So we're curving out to create space really, and come back and attach it somewhat to the patio. And then we'll kind of develop right from here and send this curve all the way underneath the leyland cypress, matching up where we started. Thought I'd take the liberty of just kind of fine trimming this little edge, getting some of the paint line markers off actually. One thing I like about the sod cutter is it does skim off and recess the bed inside here so the mulch will sit firmly in. I'm gonna need this shovel because I'm gonna mark our palm trees now. With the two over here, look how our pattern is shaping up. You knew what it was like with all the squares in the corners to have to mow. Look how we've cut it down. And then the French curve aspect. Mowing the lawn back here is gonna be a real treat. No doubt about that. So we turn a lot of hard work into something that's really fun, friendly, and looks better. We're going to bring you into the corner here, and I've used shovels to mark where we want 3 more palms to go. The Ericastrum romanzoffianum, commonly known as the queen palm, we're going to apply here. We've got a fairly large one, a medium size, I'll say, and then 2 other smaller palms to go left and right. We want to kind of really blow up this corner because this is the focal off the patio. Friends, we're in a backyard setting. All we've got is a little 4-foot or so gate to get in. No heavy equipment here. It's all handwork. Friends, I have just received word that there's going to be a delay on the palm trees, and that happens from time to time. Scheduling and everything is important, but we've got some plants here to talk about. In the meantime, let's press on and we'll get to the palms as soon as they arrive. Our theme again is tropical, but I must admit to you that some of these same plants could be used in a contemporary setting, a Mediterranean setting, a formal, traditional setting. I think it's in the eye of the beholder how the plants really play on their mind. With the exception of the palm trees and some of the lower palms, they kind of help us get into the mode or the mood of tropical. Let's start with a large leaf viburnum here. Viburnum, the Awabuki viburnum, a large grower, a glossy, shiny leaf, and we'll use these in some of the corners. They're a very fast grower here, full sun to part sun, and it'll go in the corners along the fence where we need this bigger background, so to speak, and give us some presentation there. The palm tree look, we're going to install some largers, but let's use the small sago palm here. That again carries that theme and kind of gets us in the mood or mode of the palm. The iris is going to flow good there with the tropical feel it has, and even Aztec. The sago palm, as we mentioned, is helpful, and lantana will help color up some of the palms as well. When it comes to juniper, our choice here is Parsons juniper. Up close, this bluish green cast or color is going to be nice as a contrast, and what we should make note of is this pretty cold, hardy juniper, full sun, is very low maintenance because it only grows about 18 or so inches off the ground. The homeowners have it here planted in the front yard. So a matchup, so to speak, front to back there. And that'll work great. Well, we have a specimen tree that we want to install near the patio. Let's go take a look at that, an East Palatka holly. You know, when we have the beds cleaned out, it certainly leaves that first initial impression. How about now that the East Palatka holly is placed in? Friends, this is a clear trunk specimen, what we call a standard in the industry, because it's clear to here, and then we start our little formal canopy or top. And what I like about this is it adds a great element to the window. I moved it around. The homeowners will see this from inside. They'll be able to light this at night. It'll make a great picture outside the window. But look underneath here. Now we're not blocking or obstructing the view. The tree does play a backdrop setting for the fence. Can you see that? And then lower plants under here will allow us to read more of the curves and some of the lines of the landscape. Now what I find, let's talk about the East Palatka up close. The beautiful red berries this time in the late fall of the year. Glossy green foliage. Now this plant doesn't grow so tall that it gets out of shape. We call it a patio tree because it can be clipped, pruned, or shaped to really any desired height. A full sun, part shade, a fast grower relatively. And even though it's not cold hardy enough to survive up north, because it is an evergreen, it makes a great patio presentation year round. What I want you to do is think about some other, since they're a few specimens that grow up north in the cold that are evergreen. Try to take some of the big bush varieties and make trees out of them. You know, like the burning bush, big viburnum, camellias. They make beautiful standard trunk specimens if you clean the underneath and make trees out of them. Try that. I think you'll enjoy that success. Now, what about the shape of the bed here? Well, this curve is going to really dictate how we design inside here. Rather than follow the fireplace or the contour and straight lines of the house, we have a couple things going here. Homeowners have ordered a fountain that we'll place somewhere in this location. You just came from the patio, so we want it close enough to see even outside the window here and also listen or hear that water working for the smoothing or soothing type aspect that it applies. To burn off this corner or soften the space, I'm going to use the Awabuki viburnum in a curve like this. Then I'm going to drop down with something lower here. And then we'll even follow this contour line along the front. Now, since the Awabuki is green, glossy, and somewhat soft, we need to try to find a divider plant in between that won't be so green, because I do want to probably use the African iris down in front here. So let's see what we develop. We've got Parsons juniper for the front, even the Aztec. Remember the fountain here that will be applied later. Let's try some things and see what we can come up with. These are one of the medium ones, and that's the big guy. Okay, so he's going to the back left hole. Did you see the way we actually offloaded him with the bobcat there? There's one bigger than that, and that's kind of one of my concerns. Barely make it in the gate. We just want to watch that head so we don't tear anything up. We're looking beautiful. Barely makes it through there. What we'll do is pull the plastic off. Naturally, that's just kind of a hardened off little plastic that helps the tree. We got to do a little bit of widening here, and we're plenty deep, so. All right, let's try that. We can add some fertilizer to him later. All right.
Just lean it back or get the card out of it.
Come on, let him come. Let him come. Let him come. Right into the hole. We pack them tight. We're not going to stake these trees, and what we're doing really is, my thought behind is that a dry hole packs tighter than if you added water or made a wet hole here. Because water displaces or substitutes for air in the soil. So when you add water, you can't pack all the air out of it until it dries. I think here inside the backyard setting, wind or excessive wind will not be a problem. Isn't it amazing? One tree in, it's starting to shape up already. What do you think with the third palm in place? A nice grouping there, no doubt. Now I wanted to show you what we've been working on over here. We decided with the fountain going in here, we need that color barrier, the breakup. We'll use Little's John Azalea there, the rich burgundy foliage. And we've gone with the Aztec grass out here to make, again, a little colorful presentation. I like to sometimes use my feet in planting these. That way I can get them packed real nice and tight. We've thrown a little bit of slow release fertilizer down into the hole. Really helps us move along once the holes are dug. Making sure not to install them too deep. I think these will look beautiful underneath the holly tree. Homeowners have commented already on the impact that this has both inside and out. Step across the way here. Todd, can I hold that shovel for a second? And I'll show you what's going on here. We're going to get some 3-gallon plants, some bottle brush, and we'll place them in here and let them go to town and grow and be somewhat evergreen trees for the backdrop here. Our sagos, we'll put lantana underneath there. And here's what we've decided. We brought a little bit of sand in here and rolled this. Look at this shape. We're going to bring in the black plastic edging, build this up, and actually have a raised white sand trap in here. We're going to do another one hopefully over there by the palms, but I think this will give us a tropical splash or flare, the beachy look with the palm trees and all. That's kind of what we're going for, and we'll talk about that. It should be low maintenance, no maintenance, and provide a different, unique look. Let me pull the wheelbarrow out of the way, and you can see how we've used Nandina Firepower here, our Awa Buki Viburnum, taller in the corner, a bottle brush behind there for fullness, and then the low juniper under here. Now we need to run a little color in here, and probably the Aztec grass will do that. The mulch always adds that beautiful finishing touch. And what do you think about the sand trap? I thought I'd review for you what we did here. Basically, drawing the shape of the trap into the sand itself, and then we recess that outside edge, mounding up toward the center. Then we place the black plastic trim or molding inside. Then we place a black plastic, any type of plastic will do, in order to seal the bottom off from unwanted weeds and keep the sand on top. We add our beautiful white sand and our final look. Go back and view this part of the yard before we begin. And now with the completed landscape and the tropical look with the sand trap, things look better. As we reflect back on what this section of the yard looked like, remember we had turf grass back behind the palm trees and really hard to mow. Now look at our after product. The palm trees, the curves, contrast, easier to mow. As I head toward this other corner, we can go back and look what it had. The big Leyland cypress, how it filled in the corner, but we had turf grass behind here. Now with our 3 palms and another sand trap, a beautiful after shot. Now in our last look up against the back of the house here, remember we had sod mowing these square stiff lines, and now the addition of this bed has added so much to the impact of the yard.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed seeing another project come to completion. I'm Gary Allen. I'll see you again soon. So long.